All right. My name is Mr. Nays. I'm one of the band directors, and Mr. Casper is normally the one to talk at these concerts, but he very conveniently got sick and lost his voice. So I know, I agree, no. So anyway, I'll be emceeing tonight. This concert is the culmination of many hours of practice and preparation from our students. As a courtesy to the performers and other audience members, please remain silent and seated during each song. Please also turn off or silence all cell phones and electronic devices. I'm going to do that too. While personal photography and video recording are allowed, please be courteous to the people around you and to the performer so as not to be a distraction and detract from the overall experience. If you need to leave at any time, try to do so between songs or movements. So the first tune we have up for you is Mullet Rock. This past summer we got together, Ms. Porter and Mr. Casper and I, and we kind of chose some music that we thought would be appropriate for a beginning band first semester concert, because this is the first time we've had beginners as 7th graders, so we were kind of unsure how it was going to go, but these kids are doing great. But as we were sitting there talking about what we had to play, I was very adamant that you have to play Ode to Joy from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which we'll close with, and you have to play a low-quality rock song. So we found Mullet Rock. I'm like, that's perfect. And I knew that Cooper Williams, who's one of our drum majors in the high school marching band, bassoon player and a senior, I knew that he was going to be with me, so I'm like, we got to give Cooper a song to conduct. Here's Mullet Rock. He's probably got a mullet, and he's got a Freddie Mercury jacket from our Halloween performance. So give it up for Cooper. He's going to major in music ed at Mizzou next year, and I thought there was no better way to have an inaugural performance with a bright yellow jacket and a mullet, conducting Mullet Rock. So, here's Mullet Rock. All right, so our next tune is called Creatures in the Attic by Brian Balmages. And it allows students to explore different sounds and effects on their instrument, as you'll see here, as we attempt to mimic mysterious and ominous sounds of whatever creatures may be lurking in the attic. Mr. Balmages offers a poem to help paint a picture that I'm supposed to read, but I'm only going to read the last 4 lines. It's talking about monsters living in your house, basically, but here's the last 4 lines. As soon as dawn approaches, they start to settle down. Putting all their toys away, they cease to make a sound. And then we wake up wondering, was it creaking or TV static? Others may wonder, but now you know, it's just creatures in the attic. So you're gonna hear a lot of really cool sounds happening in this one, and here it is. All right, so we had this idea last week that we wanted to take some time and recognize those students who we felt were doing an exceptional job of practicing their instruments at home and really helping to lead their section in class and both tonight here at the concert. So we wanted to recognize what we're calling some MVPs from each section. We have a few flutes and clarinets and trumpets and trombones. And by the way, the percussion is playing, because we don't normally have percussion in this band yet, the percussion is playing with us on the advanced band percussion. Would you help me thank them for jumping in and playing these parts? This afternoon, they're like, this music's really easy. I'm like, yeah, you were beginners once too, it's okay. All right, so students, when I call out your name, if you can just stand up, that way we can recognize you for your hard work. So let's see here. First off, we have trumpets, Isaiah Boyer, Sienna Cloudis, Blake Rolfs, Brianna Rayfield. We have trombones, Layla Donnelly and Michael Williams. And then we have woodwinds, Aiden Pig, Elena Pulliam, Mika Steinkamper, Keegan B, Kendra Chronister, Mackenzie Drennan, Nate Guthrie, Amelia Varvel, and Elizabeth Yeager. Please help me congratulate these kids. That's Keegan Beeler, by the way. I apologize. Okay, cool. So like I said, every beginning band concert has to have Beethoven's Ode to Joy, and here it is as the best beginning band closer. So, Beethoven's Ninth.
of Seville was a two-act opera by Rossini. It was premiered in Rome on February 20th, 1816, and it is still considered one of the greatest comedic operas of all time. You may even recognize some of the melodies if you're a fan of the Looney Tunes cartoons. You may be able to envision Elmer Fudd trying to catch Bugs Bunny or falling for some of his antics as we play this arrangement. Randolph Sandridge began composing Fields of Clover at the age of 14, working on it off and on for several years until he went to college at Arkansas State University. It wasn't until he showed this piece to one of his professors that he was encouraged to finish it and have it played. Fields of Clover was premiered in 2000 by the Arkansas State University Symphonic Band and was the first time Sandridge had ever heard one of his songs being performed in person. Fields of Clover is written in a style of Irish folk tune. Therefore, it's not based on anyone particular. A single clarinet line opening grows into a lush clarinet choir before being handed off to the rest of the band. A second melodic idea is introduced in a new key, helps give the song greater depth. The two ideas come together for a final chromatic moment before everything fades away.
All right, next up is A plus, and this tune requires some explanation because it's a pretty cool concept. Parents, raise your hands if you would be happy if your child earned a 98% on a math test, a science project, or an essay. 98%? You like, I'm buying you ice cream, right? As nice as receiving high grades are, they're all A's. We will attempt to show you why that is unacceptable in band. Music is perhaps the only subject we teach in school where perfection is the standard. As music performers, it is our job to recreate as close as possible what the composer intended. Playing a single wrong note of rhythm results in something less than what the composer wanted and can have a disastrous effect. Now also consider we have to play all the correct notes at the correct time, at the correct volume, in the correct style, and with the best tone always. And this has to come from everyone. Talk about the ultimate form of teamwork and accountability. It is with this concept in mind that led Thomas Duffy to compose our next song, A+. The song starts with a chorale and the brass, while the woodwinds mimic a band simply warming up individually at the start of a rehearsal. It slowly fades away as we transition to a march section with a simple melodic and accompaniment parts. Mr. Duffy then writes a repeat of that march section, but during the second time through it, Mr. Casper has instructed each band member to make 2 mistakes on purpose. Bless your soul. There are 8,665 notes in this song, and if you multiply that with all the other variables that need to be done correctly, there are almost 26,000 things that need to go right to successfully perform the song. 26,000. Assuming everything goes according to plan, you will hear what a 99.6% band performance sounds like. Mr. Duffy included a nice chart in the score if you are curious enough to look at the numbers for yourself, based on the number of people in your band and how many mistakes those people are allowed to make. Every day we rehearse this, the students struggle at the end to not laugh, because that's how bad a 99.6 sounds. Here's A+. How bad was that, huh? 99.6. That's an A. That's an A plus. Yeah. Before we perform our last song, we would like to recognize several members of the group who auditioned for and were accepted into the East Central District Honor Band. Over 330 of the best middle school students from basically St. John up to Fox and then over to St. Clair, 30 different schools auditioned for this group and back in October. Students, when we call your name, stand up, right? Oh, we have certificates, that's right. So students, whenever we call your name, if you guys would head to the left part of the stage over there and hold all applause till the end. Mandy Ropers was 8th chair clarinet. Gavin Eaton was 2nd chair bass clarinet. Eddie Jones was 4th chair alto sax. Charlie Warren was 1st alternate alto sax. Cale Dixon was 1st alternate tenor sax. Stephanie Hogan, 7th chair trumpet. Deja Gray, 1st chair euphonium. And Kaylee DeNoyer, 5th chair euphonium. Please help me in congratulating these kids for their hard work.
Hi, I'm Brooke, and I'm from the flute section.
I'm Addison, I'm from the clarinet section.
Okay. Wild horses have been found on the barrier islands of Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia since the early explorers first visited the continent. Some of the horses swam to shore as a result of shipwrecks. Others perhaps got free from or were abandoned by early settlers moving inwards.
In 1998, the horses on Shackelford Banks, an uninhabited island in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, were going to be moved elsewhere. However, many people gathered up enough support for the horses to stay and be protected. These Mustangs proudly remain and flourish to this day.
Yeehaw. Licks closes at 9. Have a good night.